Hey, your friendly neighborhood geek here, talking about a classic anime from 1995, Golden Boy. Oh my goodness. This show is hilarious. It's a comedy, sex comedy, harem type of show. Um, yeah, this is a funny show. I've known about the show for years. I don't remember when I first, found out about it, but it was an anime like it's an anime that's my type of anime, and it was like I knew about it for a long time. It was just one of those anime like, yeah, I'll give it a watch eventually. This is another OVA. I think it only had 6 episodes because I think it at some point it got canceled. Um, so, what is Golden Boy about? Well, our main protagonist, who you see behind me riding a bicycle, Kentaro Oe, who he kind of narrates almost every episode. He is a college dropout, I guess if you want to say. I believe he was attending law school, and he was very close to graduating, and he quit before he graduated and decided to become a wandering student. So throughout the series, we see him take odd jobs and um, do his personality is very eccentric, but you can tell like deep down he's a very solid and humble and intelligent young man, and we do see parts of that throughout the miniseries. Um, the actor who's playing Kentaro in at least the English dub is Doug Smith. I'm not familiar with his other roles, but he did a phenomenal job as Kentaro. Man, he just made Kentaro the most hilarious character you could possibly watch in an anime. His performance was off the charts in a good way. Tiffany Grant is also in the show. I mentioned her in my Devil Hunter Yoko review. I don't remember which character she played, but again, that's cool that she was part of the show as well. So like I said, each episode we see him in a different township taking different jobs. Um, he gets involved with different women, and let's just say he leaves a long lasting impact on them to the point where they're, I guess, physically, sexually, and emotionally attached to him. And towards the end of the series, he kind of creates his own harem, but I'll let you guys watch that for yourselves and see what happens. Um, this anime is based off a manga, but from what I heard and what I've read, the manga isn't that good. Like the manga just goes off the deep end, and I didn't particularly care for what they kind of did with Kentaro's character in the manga. So, but the manga's a little bit more raunchy. So if you're interested, I mean, sure, give it a watch, but give it a read. But definitely check out the anime first. The anime, a lot of people say the anime is better. I think the anime is better. Um, so yeah, if you check out the series, definitely watch the anime first. But like I said, that's kind of Golden Boy in a nutshell. Like I said, it's kind of a slice of life anime. Like I said, sex comedy, regular comedy. Like I said, Kentaro is a very fun character to watch and see him get in all these kind of crazy situations and antics and getting involved with all these beautiful, um, interesting women. Like I said, it's a good show. It may not be for everybody. It may not be for everybody. At least watch the first episode. If you don't like the first episode, then, or at least maybe the first 2 episodes, I don't know, then maybe you could pass on this one. There is an episode which is about the animation business where he gets a small job at like a animation studio, and that was really cool to see because it was like the ins and outs of working in an animation studio. So for the writers and animators to do an episode on that, I thought was like really really cool. Um, but yeah, if you're interested, I recommend it. Yeah, give Golden Boy a watch. Check it out. Peace. Hey, your friendly neighborhood geek here, doing another anime review, continuing anime month. I want to talk about an obscure anime from my, I guess, preteen years called Amamari Himari. Okay, this is not a hentai. Let's get that clear. But there it does may have some hentai-esque elements to it. This so Amari Himari, this anime is based off a manga created by Milan Matara. Not sure how to pronounce his name properly, but he's manga artist. He's still doing manga, which is really cool. Um, let's see. This anime only had one season, which really sucks. I really wish it had more than one. So at the time that I watched it, I think I rewatched it like a handful of times. And there was no English dub, which again really sucks. This anime was produced by a company called Zex. Zex, never not familiar with them. So brief synopsis on Amamari Himari. So we have a young man named Yudo. He's a teenager. He doesn't know of his family's heritage. Amamari Himari is kind of his guardian slash bodyguard. She tells him basically, and she's a cat demon, a sword wielding cat girl slash demon slash waifu. She's waifu material. I'm gonna say that right now. Himari is waifu material. But yeah, she tells him of his heritage, that he comes from a line of demon slayers, and there will possibly be other demons who will try to K-word him and endanger him and his friends and all that stuff. So basically, the whole first season is them kind of getting reacquainted because he knows her from his childhood, but he only knew her as a cat or a kitten, cat, however you want to say it. So he doesn't know her as this attractive cat girl who's now having to live with him. And I think his childhood friend, when his parents moved away from their temple, or not temple, I forgot what you call it. His parents moved away from their family's estate and moved to town, to a small town or whatever, I think his neighbor, he became friends with his neighbor, and she became his childhood friend. And I can't remember if they lived together or she still lived next to him and he just lived in the house by himself because anime. How could a teenager live in a house by himself without any adult supervision? But like I said, anime. I think his parents passed away, and I can't remember what happened to the other family. I can't, like I said, I'm not sure if Yudo was the last member of his family. I don't remember, but for whatever reason, we didn't see any other family members outside of maybe like a flashback when he was a child. But like I said, so it's kind of a harem slash comedy slash action. Like I said, we see a plethora of females appear, some who actually become genuine allies or friends to Yudo and company, Yudo and Himari, and others who have who may have developed a crush on him, and he kind of does make his own harem, kind of like Tenchi Muyo in a sense. Like for example, his parents had him in an arranged marriage. Of course, he had no clue, and his quote unquote bride sees him, as a teenager. Of course, she looks really, really pretty. And she put like a spell on him to make him allergic to cats. She purposely did that so him and Homari wouldn't, possibly get together down the road, which was just kind of funny and very I forgot the word, but very petty. It was funny and petty of her to do that. So we do see kind of like the girls kind of banter amongst each other over Yudo's affection, which then, so if you find that funny or entertaining, you'll probably like the show. But like I said, it's a cute show. A lot of people don't really talk about it. I could barely find any like YouTube reviews on it. Like I said, I felt like the dynamic between all the characters were cool. And Yudo's not the only boy, in case you were wondering. I think he has like one or two guy friends. that he's really close with. Of course, his other guy friend is like kind of jealous of his new situation, and he's kind of a pervert, but you know, it's anime. What are you gonna do? So yeah, that's kind of run of the mill for Omari Himari. Like I said, it's a cute show. I liked it when I was younger. Yeah, since I haven't seen it in so long, I definitely would go back and rewatch it just for nostalgia. And like I said, there is a manga, which the manga got a conclusion, and you know the manga's longer. So if you like the anime, then of course I recommend you check out the manga because the manga is going to give you, you know, more content and give you a proper ending. But yeah, if you're interested, go give Omari Himari a watch. Check it out. Hey, your friendly neighborhood geek here, doing another anime review. Continuing anime month, I want to talk about one of my favorite anime that I have not seen in almost close to 10 years, Chobits. Yes, this is for the most part a fairly beloved anime to a lot of people, to my knowledge. Chobits came out in 2002. So it's about 20, yes, if not, it's about 20 years old or close to 20 years old, which is crazy to me. I didn't realize how old it was back when I, watched it almost 10 years ago. Um, so this anime, well, like, okay, so let me say, why is it special to me? Well, this anime was one of the first anime, and me and a good friend at the time when we were branching out, we were young, just branching out from the traditional shonen anime like Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball, One Piece, Full Metal Alchemist, like those more action-oriented anime. We were kind of branching away from those and going and seeing what else was available. And I discovered anime like Rosario Vampire, which is one of my favorites, Kenichi, or not, what's the name of it? Kenichi, History's Strongest Disciple, and Chobix, and maybe like a couple other anime. So, what is Chobix about? Well, let me see. Well, first, let's say this. It was produced by a company named Clamp, which I'm not sure if they're still around. They produced, I think, manga, and I think most of their manga got adaptations. I believe the studio that uh, animated the series was Madhouse again, which is really cool. Um, like I said, so what is Chobix about? So we have this young man who's trying to go. Well, he ends up going to college. A young man named Hideki, voiced by Kristen Freeman. Kristen Freeman is at this point, I would say he's a veteran voice actor. He was Itachi in Naruto. He was Alucard in Hellsing. And he's done a crap ton of other voices. Um, yeah, like I said, he's playing the main character named Hideki. Hideki is kind of a country bumpkin, kind of a farm boy. So like I said, he moves to the big city to go to school. Of course, being in that environment is all new to him. He wants to get a persicom. Persicoms are basically what these robot companions that you can have, and they can serve almost any purpose. So take that as you will. He ends up finding Chi, who you see behind me, who is his base, who ends up becoming his like companion slash friend slash possible romantic possibly, like I said, romantic interest down the line in the series. He finds her like in a dumpster in a back alley, and that opens the door for a lot of questions. And like as the series goes on, it's like him, like I said, getting adjusted to his new environment, getting used to having Chi in his company and having her live with him, getting her reacquainted with, I guess, the world. Like he takes her to the library and she reads books to learn more about human culture, and like I said, just get reacquainted with everything. So she's, of course, an amnesiac, so she lost her memory. And as the series goes on, we discover her backstory and why she lost her memory, why Hideki found her in like a dumpster or a back alley. um, and like I said, it's really interesting. Like I said, the narrative, gets really interesting as the series goes on. And like I said, we're introduced to other supporting characters, like some of his friends who also have persicoms, and other characters who serve a supporting role. Um, and like I said, it's really cool. I want to say the writers of for Chobix were kind of ahead of their time. Like, who knows? One day, 20 years from now, we could have, or even 10 years from now, we could have like robots walking around with us who are our companions and help us do our day to day duties and keep up with stuff and be romantic partners for us. I mean, that's something that could possibly happen one day. So I want to say that that was really for a manga slash anime. That was really cool and creative of them to do. And like I said, the bond that we see grow between Hideki and Chi is really cool and really cute and very very romantic. Like I said, it's a romance. It has, yeah, it's romance anime mixed with other genres. And like I said, as you watch it, you do really you do really want them to, end up in the end. It's really sweet. And, if you like romance, like I'm a hopeless romantic. So at the time, like I said, at the time I liked it. Ironically, like I was like, what, 13 maybe, like 12, 13 years old, and I liked it, but I don't think I really understood the messages in this anime at the time. But now that I'm older, I'm a young adult, I appreciate it more, of course. um but yeah, that's kind of Chobix in a nutshell. Like I said, it's a cute, charming show, kind of like slice of life romance, science fiction. Like I said, I think if you like that type of genre, just give it check it out. And of course, if you like the anime, then I suggest you should give the manga a read as well. Um, oh yeah, this came out. I believe this came out in 2002. So again, wow, I was 2 years old when this anime premiered. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Um, but if anything, you should check out the intro. I think you can watch the whole show on YouTube. Go to YouTube, and check out the intro for the show. The intro for the show is like so nostalgic and cute and charming, and I think it kind of pulls you into like, huh, I might give this a watch. This looks, this is like a sweet, cute comfort show. Um, but yeah, if you're interested, go give Chobix a watch. I recommend it. Check it out. Peace, you guys. Hey, your friendly neighborhood geek here, doing another anime review, this time on Final Fantasy Legend of the Crystals. Yeah, I discovered this, I want to say randomly a couple years ago. It's actually one of my favorite OVAs, honestly. Even though some people, especially true Final Fantasy fans, kind of consider this kind of flawed. But there are people who grew up with this, maybe seeing this as a kid, and they have nostalgia for it, which I find to be fairly sweet. Um, yeah, this came out in 1994. This was directed by anime director named Rentaro. This was also produced by Madhouse. Again, all these anime reviews, I keep saying Madhouse. Like I said, they've done so many properties. I think they've even done a few non like anime, like traditional cartoons before. But yeah, like I said, they've been around for a long time. So, what is this about? Well, apparently, this is a four-part OVA. It never got a DVD release to my knowledge, but you can watch this on YouTube for free. The way I actually found out about it was a YouTuber that I like to watch does reviews on kind of obscure, kind of like myself, does reviews on obscure content. Did a review on this, and that's how I discovered it and watched it for myself. And it's something I like to watch from time to time. Um, so yeah, but like I said, what is this about? Well, um, oh, real quick, all over the place. So my opinions on Final Fantasy. Personally, I love Final Fantasy. I'm a casual fan. I've played a little bit of the original Final Fantasy VII, and I played a couple of the mobile games, which were decent. Um, I played Kingdom Hearts, even though I know Kingdom Hearts is more of a spinoff or however you want to call it. So again, Final Fantasy is I feel what I feel for Final Fantasy is how I feel about Legend of Zelda. I love the characters, I love the world building, I love the lore, I love the universe of the game, the universe that the game takes place in. But they've just never been games I can personally get into myself. I'm not a big RPG person. I'm a casual RPG person. The few RPGs I've played, that I actually like beat or it had a good time playing. But RPGs aren't my not usually my type of games I tend to play. But yeah, so this anime, of course, I believe was the first like attempt at adapting a Final Fantasy game. Like now we have like Avid Children, we have a handful of other. I know we have one animated short, which I think Madhouse also did, based off like a prequel to like Final Fantasy VII. And I think there's like a couple. Yeah, there's a couple other adaptations we've got that I've seen. I think I've seen all of them up till this point. And they were okay, but they were kind of more based off the modern Final Fantasy, not. I feel like this Legend of the Crystals kind of captures like the old kind of aesthetic of the series that they were going for back then, which especially in the artwork. Fun fact: Yoshitaka Amano, who I talked about in my Vampire Hunter D, um, TikTok, he used to do the cover art for the early Final Fantasy games. And his arts, in my opinion, fit the series so well because you really got that like fantasy, otherworldly fantasy aspect or vibe from his artwork in the early games. Um, Now, unfortunately, after he no longer did the artwork for the series, and they um, kind of moved past that what they were going for, transition from that. I feel like we've kind of lost a little bit of that fantasy element from the series, in my opinion. Like the fantasy element's still there, but not on the same level as it was way back when the series first started. But that's just me. Don't mean to get all over the place. So like I said, Legend of the Crystal is a four-part OVA, so it's about an hour long. It takes place, I think, 200 years after Final Fantasy V, and I think like a couple of the characters from Final Fantasy V, or one of the characters from Final Fantasy V is a main character in this movie. So what happens? So we kind of have it kind of starts off with this girl and her grandfather. They meet, I think, like a wandering young man who's kind of a warrior, kind of a young swordsman. I can't remember. They team up to retrieve the crystals, or like I said, I don't remember everything. But they work together with they end up working together with like a general and another lady who kind of starts off she's kind of like a pirate, and she has her own crew, and she kind of starts off as like an antagonist, but as the OVA goes on, she ends up helping our group of heroes and saving, I guess, the world, retrieving the crystals and stopping the evil force or the evil villain of this OVA. There's a princess who I think the princess has all of them come together and informs them on what's going on, and that like we need your help to save the world. A lot of other interesting stuff happens. A lot of I don't say there's pervertive moments, but like there's a lot of moments where you go and you're like, yeah, I would expect something like that in an anime. It's kind of funny that this apparently came out in '94. And I think we didn't get an English dub till like '95, '96, I want to say. But like I said, it's funny this came out in the '90s because it has a very '80s aesthetic to it. So like I said, it's for what it is. It's fine. It's just a casual watch. If you're a Final Fantasy fan and you've never seen it, or maybe you've heard of it, never seen it. If you heard bad stuff, watch it for yourself. Like I said, people say that there are things wrong with this OVA. Like it has its flaws, but they still have a lot of nostalgia for it. like I said, me being a casual Final Fantasy fan, I can look past the flaws. I don't care. I just look at it as the fun, somewhat dumb, fantasy anime OVA. But yeah, like I said, I personally like it. Like I said, I think it's cool. I like the colors. I like how colorful it is. I like the character designs. I like the interactions between our main characters. And yeah, it does give off that fantasy vibe. I did feel like I was watching like an anime adaptation of like the old early Final Fantasy titles. But yeah, if you're interested, go give Final Fantasy Legend of the Crystals a watch. Check it out. I did want to say this real quick, but just think this was the first attempt at adapting a Final Fantasy game in animation. So for that alone, I feel like it deserves some credit, even if it, like I said, isn't the best. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But yeah, like I said, if you're interested, go give Legend of a Crystal a watch. Check it out. Hey, your friendly neighborhood geek here, doing another anime OVA review. This time on Burn Up. Yeah, I like this one. This is very charming. This is about three police girls taking charge and kind of putting the law in their own hands to save the day. The first one was in '91, which is what I'll be talking about. There were sequels, Burn Up W and Burn Up something else. Yeah, Burn Up Scramble. So Burn Up W and Burn Up Scramble came afterwards. Burn Up Scramble was in '98, so I'm not sure, if there was only these three adaptations. I don't think this what originated as a manga. I could be wrong though. So yeah, what is this about? Well, we have three police girls who are all kind of like I forgot, people who prevent traffic jams from happening. People who stand in the middle of the road and whatchamacallit, direct traffic. I forgot what you call those people. So they're kind of like doing stuff like that, and they kind of want to do something that's more challenging. I think a girl gets kidnapped, and they look into it and investigate. They find out the kidnapping is attached to slavery, and I guess like some sort of prostitution or something that's going on in their city. This is all being done by like a crooked political person or something, like someone in power in the city is responsible for this situation, for this going on. So the police I think are kind of under the person's thumb to a degree, so they aren't really like doing they aren't really doing more than what they could be doing. So the girls kind of take one of the police officers, she gets kidnapped, so the blonde haired girl and I think the black haired girl, take matters into their own hands, go to the police armory, get a whole bunch of stuff, weapons, motorcycles, all that good stuff, and they go in and they handle it themselves, and they kick butt, save the day, all that good stuff. So like I said, for what it is, it's a lot of fun. It's a fun watch if you are into that kind of genre or that narrative. I think you'll like Burn Up. There's other anime similar to Burn Up. There's Dominion, Tank Police, Mad Bull 34, but that's a little kind of out there. That's a bit raunchy. And like there's other animes that center around strong female characters, which I might talk about later on down the line. But yeah, if you're interested, go give Burn Up a watch and then check out the sequels. Yeah. Hey, your friendly neighborhood geek here, doing another brief anime OVA review. This is Outlanders from 1986. Yes, this originated from a manga series that I believe spanned from 1985 to 1987. It had 8 volumes. It was the author was, I believe his name is pronounced Juhi Mananabe. The English translation was distributed by Dark Horse Comics. They've done a lot of distribution for a lot of manga. There are also people who hold the rights to Hellboy. That's where the Hellboy comics originated from. They've also done the English translation for Berserk from Kentaro Miura and a handful of other manga books. Yes, so what is this about? Well, the OVA came out in 86. It's roughly like 44 minutes. Basically, we have Princess Calm, who you see behind me, the attractive warrior princess, who her kingdom or her empire, her father, their people invade different planets. She comes to Earth. They plan on invading Earth. We see her, which is kind of cruel in a way. You see her like chopping up, hacking up soldiers. And we come across a photographer whose name was like Tetsuo. I forgot his last name, but he's like a newspaper photographer or something, kind of like Peter Parker in a sense. And he catches her attention, and he manages to, by luck, he manages to like beat her in a fight, and that kind of piques her interest, and she kind of falls for him. And he kind of takes her. She takes him on her ship. Of course, her father does not approve. So basically, her Tetsuo, her one of her friends slash allies, and her friend's partner, romantic partner, who has his own crew of people. They all work together to stop her father and his empire from taking over planet Earth. And yeah, for what it is, it's fun. It's like I said, I love old 80s anime, so I like the aesthetic of the characters, like how everybody looks. It kind of reminds me of like the setting kind of reminds me of like Star Wars or something, space and all that stuff and spaceships and all that good stuff. So like I said, if you're interested in checking out Outlanders, it's on YouTube for free. I recommend the English dub. The English dub is very charming. So yeah, go give Outlanders a watch. Check it out.